Now to our third topic, which is inter-agent interoperability. And so to frame up this, as registries and identity, we're sort of, as with registries and identity, we're sort of in a land rush. So this is the time to create this inner agent protocols for how agents can talk to each other and broader ecosystems of tools, services, infrastructure. And so at the core of this question, it's can agents communicate? And then beyond that, once they can communicate, can those interactions remain governable? So this is the most fragile layer. If enterprises are rapidly moving from single agent tools to multi-agent systems, how do they trigger one another? How do they delegate tasks? How do they negotiate outcomes? How do they transact across organizational and infrastructural boundaries? So this is precisely where control tends to fail. When agents invoke other agents across vendors, clouds, domains, networks, existing identity today and authorization, that's really hard. Audit models, they kind of break down. So the stakes are really high. We know AI is already kind of getting folded into military, industrial complex, healthcare, governmental systems. And without this interoperability and without everything else we talked about, identity, provenance of understanding, security, safety, data sovereignty, it's very possible to go into a future that is not secure for people utilizing technology that has a high ability to negatively affect people's quality of life or mess up things that are infrastructurally dependent for human civilization. So not to bring it too broad, but with all of that introduction, I'm very excited about inter-agent operability. And I'm going to pass it over to Ahmer, who is going to execute an amazing fireside chat with Luca. Please take it away.
Thank you, Patches, for that introduction and great conversation so far. And I would like to kind of introduce and bring Luca in to basically talk about the work at Cisco with agency that he's leading. So perhaps maybe a quick introduction about the purpose behind the agency and then framing of that purpose behind the introduction that Patches kind of framed this with. So Luca, off to you with your quick introduction and then some introduction about the agency work. Yeah.
Thank you, Ahmer. I personally contribute to the agency project and Linux Foundation as TSC member, but also as an individual contributor and technical lead in a couple of projects. I work on secure messaging protocols for agentic communications, and I work on agent discovery. Parts of agent discovery with our contributor with agent directory. I also contribute to the 8-way protocol in the Linux Foundation. I'm also part of the TSC there. Mm-hmm. And so agency is a project which includes several contributions. We cover essentially identity management. We should talk about a bit access control. We cover agent discovery. We cover messaging. We previously also covered some of the topics others are working on, and so we are also trying to make sure we consolidate the work we are doing to avoid duplication of work with other projects like 8-way. This is also why we joined forces with the 8-way protocol. Yeah. I guess that's the short intro.
Thank you. Yeah, and then within agency, and can you speak to the evolution at least from an ACP to A2A, and just to kind of any confusion that may be out there, just clarify the ACP's current status vis-a-vis ACP, right. and then within that, the evolution of the agency. Yeah.
So in agency, we started in late 2024, and when we started, there were not as many protocols as there are today. And so at the beginning, we had several different protocols under incubation. One of them was ACP for Agent Connect protocol. Consider there are at least 6 other ACP protocols I'm aware of. IBM developed the ACP protocol as Agent Communication Protocol, which was also stopped in favor of the 8-way protocol. But going back to our work in agency, where we started, ACP was our API protocol in our agentic communication stack, because we started with the LangGraph protocol, which was called the AP protocol, so the agent protocol, which was how LangGraph instantiated remote agent. And by March 2025, we created the agency collective with LangChain and Galileo at the beginning. And so that's why ACP was at the core of our contribution. We were collaborating with them. And it was just in May that the 8-way protocol was released by Google. Yeah. And we realized that there was a lot of overlap, a lot of duplication of work. And so we wanted to make sure that we could join forces with other contributors. We were very happy to see Google contributing in the Linux Foundation with the 8-way protocol. This is more or less a very short history of how ACP evolved from essentially LangGraph AP, agency ACP, and then we moved the contribution into the 8-way protocol.
Yeah. So at this point, would you consider the ACP to be a suspended line of work, and it's all that work like evolving and merging into the A2A, just to so that there's no confusion around protocols and where things are headed? Yeah.
Yeah, to make it clear, ACP is currently archived in the agency project, and A2A is the protocol that we're using in agency in place of ACP. So all the other components are able to work with A2A. We contribute to make sure as soon as A2A has a new release, so we're currently working on the V1 of A2A protocol, and we make sure that our components like Slim and the messaging protocol is able to support A2A V1, and the discovery protocol is able to support A2A V1, et cetera, et cetera. We also support MCP, but we don't directly contribute to MCP, but for A2A, it's much easier because we are directly actively in the development of the spec and on the software.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that clarification. So moving further on into the evolution of the A2A, right? You have been deeply involved in discussions around decoupling the transport layer from A2A. What are some of the problems you're trying to solve there, and design principles that came out of those debates? For example, like running A2A over HTTP, etc.
Yeah, one of the main characteristics of the A2A protocol that no other protocol is actually trying to achieve is makes agents communicate efficiently. And so agents currently they communicate very much to execute tasks efficiently and in a client to server pattern. We all know that we really want this to evolve into a communication pattern where agents can really talk to each other. Like agents can talk to agents, and so in a more bidirectional streaming way, agents can exchange information. Agents can collaborate in groups. So these are all patterns that are not yet in the A2A protocol. One of the main achievement of the V1 spec is to be able to decouple protocol bindings so that you can run A2A on top of several transport, depending on the goals of the applications you're building. And so this is what we are doing in A2A to support other patterns. So it goes beyond HTTP. It goes into making sure the A2A protocol can support more than task management or client-server communications. So this is what we're doing, and I feel like it matches very well where we are at the vision in agency.
Okay, thank you. Can you go further deeper into the need for a proof of control for agent-to-agent calls that are required? So who initiated the action, under what authority, with what validation, auditability of the trail, especially in regulated sectors where multi-agentic kind of an orchestrations and an interoperability layers are required, so that sort of the governance and coordination is required from an auditability perspective, and also ensuring that there are essentially controls built into the ecosystem.
Well, this is a big topic about observability. So in agency, there is a working group of people working on these kind of problems. They are also contributing back to the Open Telemetry project for doing that. But I feel like for agentic applications, we are starting in a moment where application instrumentation is very very much available in all SDKs, so that this can be realized very quickly.
Yeah.
Thanks to all the work done previously in tracing, metrics collections through the Open Telemetry project. So I guess we are starting in a much better position with respect to previous projects in the past.
Thank you. So as this work kind of evolving and looking back on ACP and the evolution of the A2A work, some of the key learning and insights that you would like to share in terms of what should not be hardwired into the code specs versus, so that we don't end up in this super glue kind of a standards that can't evolve and then beyond where they are. Any lessons you can share with us in terms of the current specs work that's going on and ensuring that we don't run into these super glue standards?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So when we launched agency at Outshift at Cisco, it was very early, 2024, like I said, and we didn't anticipate reaching this level of standardization. Like where we realized that many other projects had similar ideas, which was a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Which required a lot of discussion with other projects. And this is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. It requires to get consensus. And one of the challenge and the opportunities of this is to make sure everyone in all these communities feel like they are contributing to these protocols and specifications, so that they will be using protocols they've been contributing to create. And so that creates a lot more consensus. And so all the implementation will be shared across a large number of communities. So I feel like these are the main part. And so being able to collaborate with other communities, share components, rebuild things together, and update your opinions based on others' feedback. This is the main challenge and the greatest opportunity at the same time.
Yeah, thank you. One last question in this, and thank you for sharing that. Can you share any portals or groups or ecosystem where the larger community can share their input as these protocols are evolving?
So for agency, we have agency.org where people can, so AGNTCY, which is where you can find the Slack channels, GitHub repository, code repositories, working group. There's a calendar with working group meetings. People can join community meetings and participate. And that's the best place to start.
Sounds great. Thank you, Luca.